Suicide Squad. Did I like it? Did I not like it? I'm going to review it. Spoiler warning, I'm not going to do like a spoiler review and then a non-spoiler review. There's no point, I just want to talk about what I liked and what I didn't like about the film. So the good things of this film are the characters. The characters in this film are insane. They are so good. I really enjoyed them. There's a lot of dynamics between the characters, and you've got Harley Quinn and the Joker. Their relationship is done so well. Really well done. The way Jared Leto and Margot Robbie played that, it was so believable, and, you know, craziness and aside, they were actually quite a cute couple. And I quite like that. Another standout character for me was Deadshot, played by Will Smith. He did incredibly well at not being Will Smith. Will Smith has got to the stage in his career when you see him in a film, you don't see him as his character, you see him as Will Smith. And in this film, playing Deadshot, he just did it well, and I knew it was Will Smith, but I kind of forgot about it as the movie went forward, and I thought, oh, he's Deadshot, he's an assassin, he is paid by people to kill people, he's got a daughter, all that stuff. I liked Amanda Waller, played by Viola Davis. She was terrifying, if I'm honest. She had like an unsettling authority about her, but you really wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of her. Like, she has an app on her phone and she literally just holds it up and is like, there's the picture of all the squad on it, and she's like, if she taps it, you blow up. Terrifying stuff. Harley Quinn, I feel like I should have mentioned her first, but Harley Quinn, this film is basically Deadshot and Harley Quinn's film. They've got the most screen time, they have the most scenes. If you know the comments, you know those two are a thing at times. Their banter between each other is really good. There is no point in this film where you think you've had enough Harley Quinn. She's got the right amount of lines. Margot Robbie plays her properly. She's Harley Quinn, she's crazy. She's got a bit of an origin story with the Joker, which worked really well. I know they cut a lot out, because from filming photography from magazines and stuff, there's a lot more in that scene that wasn't in the film. Her outfit was great, and I'm not saying that because I'm a guy, it was very Harley Quinn-like. All the other characters, I liked them, and every character had their moment. The only character I really didn't like and I didn't connect to was Slipknot. And here was one of the major problems with Slipknot. He doesn't last very long in this film. At the start of the film, there's like a montage of each character's backstory and where they've come from, why they're bad guy, basically. Slipknot does not have that. He just appears when they're getting all their gear, and he's just like, Slipknot's arrived. Punches a woman as soon as he gets out of the car, which, by the way, was funny, and I laughed, and then thought that was a step too far. It was like a comedy joke that didn't land, because afterwards he said she has a mouth. Woman beating. Okay, we're going down that route straight away with your character. Okay, that's his first line. So there was no connection to his character, and it really bugs me because, you know, a name like Slipknot, you think of the band, but at the same time, he's a cool character. I wanted to kind of get to know him a bit more. Plot. Plot is a big problem with this film. I'm not even exaggerating, this film has a massive story problem. Apparently David Ayer had 6 weeks to write the script. That is not enough time. If anything, you want almost 6 months to write a decent script. So rush production is a problem with this film, and you can tell. The basic plot is Amanda Waller has all these meta-humans together, including Enchantress, which I didn't talk about a minute ago, played by Cara Delevingne. She's cool-ish, I'll come on to that. Amanda Waller steals this ancient being, I can't remember her name now. There's an ancient being that possesses Cara Delevingne's character, which I've forgotten her name, and she becomes the Enchantress. But she then goes rogue because Amanda has stolen her heart. It's exactly like Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean. There was literally a chest, practically, with her rotting heart in it, which controlled the beast. And she goes rogues, and basically tries to get her heart back, so she's the villain of the film. Enchantress is the villain. It's really weak because the basic plot is that the squad then had to try and stop her. What suffered was Cara Delevingne's character didn't have a point other than being bad. She had no motive to go bad. Once you realise she wanted her heart, you're like, okay, this could work. Then suddenly it's about world domination, and it doesn't explain why, and there's no reasoning behind it. She just starts setting up a portal in the sky and blowing shit up. The last scene of the film, the way it's done is it's like the mission's over, they're back in prison again, Will Smith gets to see his daughter for a few seconds and then he has to get arrested again. So it's back, it goes in a full circle, which is quite nice for a film, because normally there's a happy ending. This film doesn't have a happy ending, but it doesn't have a sad ending, it just kind of, it just ends. It doesn't even have much segue into anything. Good things, to paraphrase the characters, fight sequences, really good fight sequences. I know Margot Robbie did a lot of her own stunts, like trapezing and stuff, that was all good. Cinematography was decent. Bad things, okay, if other than plot was bad. Music. The music in this film is good, but it's used incredibly badly. I cannot this enough. It was so bad. I went and saw it with Jo, and she looked, after we saw the film, she said, you kept doing your weird, like, judgmental face thing, and it was every time music was playing, pretty much. It felt like a music video. Every time there was a fight sequence with a backing track, it took me out of the film, and I was like, oh, I'm watching a really cool music video. Okay, I'll just sing along to the song. Nuh-uh. The music just, it took over the film, and music is supposed to aid the action. It was the centre of attention when the action should have been the centre of attention, or the characters. So it was really lazy by David Ayer to use music as a forefront, not a background. But I do want to talk about the Joker, because I think a lot of people were expecting a lot from the Joker. I think people, obviously it's quite an iconic role. I mean, you had Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, what's the other one? Mark Hamill. Oh, I can't remember. Ramiro, yeah, I can't remember his first name. All of these people have played classic Jokers, like, really good. Like, Heath Ledger, I think, is my favourite, and then it's Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill has such a great voice for it. Jared Leto had a lot to live up to, regardless. I think it's a bit like taking on the role of the Doctor. You've got such the history behind you, it's almost impossible at the start to have your own say. I remember people didn't like Heath Ledger's casting when Heath Ledger took the role on, and he was great. I think Jared Leto is now my favourite Joker, and here's why. He was crazy, like actually insane. Heath Ledger's Joker was mad, but he was clever mad, like he was systematic with what he was doing. Jared Leto is off the chart crazy. There's a scene in like a butcher's shop, like parlour, and he's torturing this guy, and he just kind of rubs on the back of his neck, saying really touchy-feely, being really creepy, and I was sat there in the cinema going, ugh. Like, it was so cringy in a great way, and Jared Leto played it really well. When his look was first announced with all his tattoos, people really didn't like it. They were like, why is this Marilyn Manson junkie in my film? And I've got to say, love it. What I didn't like about this Joker is the lack of Joker in this film. If you took Jared Leto out of it, the Joker out of it completely, you wouldn't miss him. The only reason he is in this film is to ground all the characters. They're all bad guys, they all kill people, they all have no remorse, they all don't care about humanity. But the Joker is worse than that, and he's there literally to show us, the audience, that these guys are bad, but the Joker is mentally crazy and very evil. That he's kind of like the step up, and he's also there to set up Harley's backstory. If you don't know the background story of Harley Quinn, she starts off as being a doctor, a really good doctor, like psychiatrist person, and she works with the Joker, starts to fall in love with him, and then he starts to mentally manipulate her to become as crazy as him. And there's this great scene, it's my favourite scene in the whole film, of the Joker and Harley almost having like a wedding ceremony on the top of at Ace Chemicals. The Joker went in to go even more crazy, and he basically is like, oh, go on baby, go and do it. She jumps in free will because she loves the Joker, she wants to be with him forever. The Joker then kind of does a creepy smile, walks away, leaving her to die. Okay? That's the bit that you got that makes this relationship really dynamic and cool. The Joker uses Harley to keep himself alive, but she also kind of uses him. It's kind of a back and forth craziness. But the bit I love, this is I think Jared Leto's best performance out of the film. This is his best scene, and he basically he kind of walks away, not looking at the camera, but it's kind of it's like he's looking at you. He just kind of goes, oh, and then takes his coat off and jumps in to save her. I teared up, I'm not gonna lie. No, not like emotional tears, but almost like happiness, like, oh, they're really cute together, I really hope they don't die. When I first came out of the cinema, I said to the guys I went to see it with, I said, I think Batman vs Superman was better. I don't think that anymore. I've got my notes and I've been talking it through with people and seeing other people's reviews and what people have said, and I actually think it's on par. Both had almost the same problems, which was the plot. The plot, for me, is one of the most important parts of a film. You can't overdo it with effects or explosions or fight sequences or music, I think that was the point. The music ruined this film for me. Other than that, I think you've got a solid film. Would I recommend you go and see it? Yes. Not in 3D. It doesn't really deserve the extra price tag. And normally I'm an advocate for 3D films, I think they're great. But this isn't worth the money, if I'm honest. I think DC have a lot of thinking to do about they can't rush films. Wonder Woman comes out next year. I'm looking forward to it. This has made me skeptical because the trailers for Suicide Squad were incredible. I loved them. I loved the film straight away. Not like with Batman vs Superman, where I nearly didn't bother seeing the film at all because the trailers looked so bad. This was the opposite. The trailers looked good, the film was bad. Wonder Woman, the trailers look good. Could that be a good film? We have to wait and see. But I think they've got to sit on this and lap it up. I know this has been I'm not even going to call this a review now, this has been a rant, I do apologise. The reason I've done this one is just because I had so much to say, which might explain the length of this video and the ramblings of it. So I apologise, but it needs to be said because I feel like people aren't being honest about this film. The reviews that I've seen that are really bad about this film are too bad, and then I feel like they've gone out of their way to be negative. I hope this is a more natural review of it, and I haven't compared it to a Marvel film. Boom. So I'll see you whenever. Ciao!